So with those kind of things and are important, I don't think they're necessarily wondering what kind of suit he's wearing. They want to know what he's doing. And if he's doing something that's monumental, but he's wearing a t-shirt, that's a-okay. And if she is looking good, then that's a-okay too. Now, if we get into the point where we want our women to start doing well, then I guess your point makes more sense to me, at least.
I have a question. Would us men be okay if we had women in our lives who said, you know what? I know when you met me, I had on dresses and I had the stilettos and I was all that. And I wore makeup and I did my hair. And she said, you know what? Because I'm now a wife and I've got kids and I got really busy things to do, I'm just gonna wear a t-shirt and sweatpants every day and some Converse. Would us men be okay with that?
That's what they
Unacceptable.
do.
No, men and women are not the same.
Okay with that. Would we be
Men
okay
and women
with
are not the
That's
same.
what they do. That's what he just talked about. That's the whole switch
they're
up.
already doing that. They're already
That's
doing
exactly what happens.
And,
That's
and
what
why
I'm
the
saying. Are we
sweatpants?
okay
I ain't
with
trying to see
that?
no sweatpants.
No, we're not.
No
No.
sweatpants.
But that's
I need
what I'm
some
saying.
legs.
We're not.
I just did that to say, I think us men, we should, emulate the level of woman that we want to have as well. So if you want a certain woman to appear a certain way, we got to do our part, as well.
Absolutely.
Men and women are not the
Yeah.
same though. Like a Mark Zuckerberg has so much money, he can dress like a dork, and he's still gonna have a woman that's gonna sit there and make herself look nice for him. Especially with him going to the gym and shit now. Like he's stepping up his other
Oh,
stuff.
that's right. He just took that-
Billionaire.
But most
Well,
I see your point. I see your point, Sergio. Basically, when men are out there saying, you need, how you got them is how you need to keep them, is what we expect from women. So don't fall off, right? We always talk about, because people say black don't crack, and I say yes, it does. But people fall off all the time, and we don't want anybody to fall off. And so, fellas, if you guys are getting fly and you got your hair cut and you getting your edge up and you smelling good and you looking sharp and you working out, don't get married and then just fall off, because that's not what you would expect a woman to do. I think the reason why we brought up the Steve Jobs, or at least I brought up the Steve Jobs situation, is because those are producer males. Remember, I got this thing called producer male. So if you're a producer male and you got shit to do, and you're providing and you're creating things, you need to be as fucking comfortable as possible. And so if I'm out there, and another thing with me, they're typically gonna meet me like this. So it's not like I'm gonna switch up. So I'm simply saying, when I talked about the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, who's out there wearing Brunelli t-shirts that cost $450, $500 a pop, he's comfortable because he's out there producing for his woman, and his woman is the beacon of beauty for the relationship. Remember, everybody, your wife is the beacon of beauty in your relationship. That's why I say, guys can kind of fall off. It's not cool, but your woman needs to be the one that represents the beautiful side, the beauty side, the imagery side, the good-looking side. I want a good-looking woman on my arm when you go to the Christmas party every year for the job. What kind of woman do I have? Most guys ask, man, what does his wife look like? Whereas women ask, well, what does he do? So with those kind of things are important, I don't think they're necessarily wondering what kind of suit he's wearing. They want to know what he's doing. And if he's doing something that's monumental, but he's wearing a t-shirt, that's a-okay. And if she is looking good, then that's a-okay too. Now, if we get into the point where we want our women to start doing well, then I guess your point makes more sense to me, at least.
To the last point. So I'm not advocating for suits per se. I'm just saying presentable. You know what I mean? So I'll give an example. Be mad at the chain and shirt you got on tight. Shannon, you always sharp. I don't even know what we doing this. Shannon, you got a whole clothing brand. I don't even know why you saying all this. So so it being presentable, you do this nice watch, and then 2 years later, you sweatpants and Crocs every day. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, just keep up with it. Work out, eat well, get sleep, and just stay presentable. That's all I'm saying. And it doesn't matter what you wear. Iron your clothes. Like, your shirt should be ironed, right? Just things like that. That's what I mean.
I think everybody should do that, period. Man or woman. Everybody should do that shit. That's called being an adult. That's called being grown.
I agree, but like, Sir Hale, you got to understand, just men and women aren't the same, though. At the end of the day, say the guy is that guy. Like, he is the type of guy where he could get more women because he makes a lot of money. He's successful. He goes to the gym. He does all that stuff. But he's going through a Brad Pitt phase where he only wants to wear sweats and a t-shirt, and he wants to do that. If he's that guy and his girl he could replace his girl in 5 minutes, he can get away with doing that. He can do whatever he wants. And the woman is still going to have to dress nice because women have to always do whatever it takes to obtain those guys. And since we're different, since women want a man that's a provider and men want a beautiful women, we're opposite. Like we're not going to want the same thing. So I definitely just don't think that it goes that way. Like, to quote the great Future, bitch, don't get too comfortable. And the problem is that if a woman is getting comfortable in a relationship, it's because you suck. Like if your girl at any point getting comfortable, it's because you as a man suck. And it's because, I don't know. Like, I always would just blame the men if the woman is doing that stuff. Like, obviously, he sucks.
Well, to answer the question, man, does women get comfortable or they get cute because they're comfortable? Now, women don't stop getting cute. They don't stop. They're going to continue to get cute. Every time they go out with their girlfriends, they're going to get cute. They just not going to be cute with you. You're going to get some old lame-ass outfit that she's going to give you, throw some lip gloss on and keep moving. But she's going to go full-fledged makeup, wig, weave, going to be laid to the side every time she go out with her girlfriend. So to say they doing for other men, no, they not doing for other men. They doing it for other girls. I don't know why they do it because they bulldaggers. I don't know. Are they just doing it just because they want the approval of other women? Maybe that's the case because they always going to get cute. And the friend's going to lie to them, girl, you look good. Knowing you look nasty and sloppy and then that baby weight should have been gone 5 years ago because your son's 12 years old now. But, it is what it is.
I feel like they're in constant competition with each other. Women are a lot more competitive than they admit to being.
You should always be using dread game to make a girl want to do those things. Like if you're not using dread game in your relationship to make sure that your woman is trying to constantly compete to make sure she has your attention, then I don't think it's going to be a good relationship all the time, especially with these men today. Like because they're going to go a ways to other men if you're not keeping them emotionally riled up all the time.
You said drug game? Is that what you said?
No.
Can you break that down, Purple?
No,
break that down.
It's called dread game. Dread game.
I thought you said drug game. I'm like, God damn, dog.
No,
it did sound like that, Hank. It really did. I was like, Purple gonna have to break that down.
Cosby, huh?
No, it's instilling dread, which is just that, you can be replaced. Like you should always make a girl feel like she can be replaced because that makes her be on her best behavior, dress the best, always look the best. Like she needs to always be competing for you, or else I just don't think the relationships work best when they're not doing that.
No, that's
keeping them on their
too
toes.
much work,
Keeping
man.
them on their toes.
There's a place for that, but you can't be spending all of your time keeping her on her toes. She has to have something built within herself to keep her, going. Security Boss and I did a show some time ago, and I brought up the question about, if a woman, for an example, let's say when you met her, she never went to the gym, and then she get with you, and now you get all these requirements. You got to get into the gym. Well, it's a lot more difficult trying to get a woman to become something she wasn't before you met her. And so I say this to say to this question, it's important to get with somebody who has that in them already. So you're not spending. Now, listen, let's go back to saving the world, Steve Jobs. If you don't have time to be worried about your clothes and you're wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants, that means you ain't got time to keep a woman on her toes as well, right? So you got to get a woman that has that within her, so you're not babysitting her and keeping her on her toes. That's in her already.
I feel like if you are on your purpose, you on your job, and you are the best version of yourself, that's quite enough to keep a woman on her toes, right? Because women behave the best, unfortunately, when there is a constant threat of other women. That's just what it is. Unfortunately, we don't like to be like that, but it's not something that you have to throw in their face. It's not something that you tell them, but you just being on your job, you doing everything that you were when you met her, or even better, right? You're constantly trying to improve as a man, is going to naturally attract women. And if you are naturally attracting women, she's going to be very threatened by that, and she's going to perform better.